Today's video is going to be kind of like on chlorine and acne. Is chlorine good for acne? Is chlorine bad for acne? And this took me a while to create. I wanted to do this at like the beginning of summer, but it took me a long time to like get to the library, and I had other things to research first and all this jazz. And bottom line, I kind of feel like a lumberjack today. Do you guys see this? Like, I really love this shirt. I really do, but it makes me feel slightly lumberjacky. Do you guys think I look lumberjacky or not? But oh well, I'm just gonna rock my lumberjack love. But today's video is on chlorine and acne. Is it good? Is it bad? What are the details? And a lot from my personal experience as well, because over the past couple years, I kind of have noticed differences between the summer and the winter. And I was wondering, is that attributed to just sunlight and more UV rays out there, or does that really have to do something with a pool? So I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about that, because I know that a lot of people avoid chlorine and a lot of people just love it. So I want to just kind of clear up a couple little things and tell you guys what I think. So first off, what is chlorine? Chlorine is actually a chemical. It's a gas that was used in like World War I or World War II. It's like a green gas that was actually used to like kill people. What we use chlorine in our pools though for is for kind of combating bacteria and algae in the water. What happens is that if a pool doesn't have chlorine, algae and green stuff is going to all float around. And that's usually why, at least in my experience, when swimming in my own personal pool, it's easier on my eyes than when I'm swimming in like a public pool or like at a pool at a hotel. I think that the reason why is because pools at hotels are highly chlorinated, more so than pools in residential areas. At least that's what I think, because you know, I'm sure public pools have like little kids peeing in them and stuff like that. But chlorine is basically an agent that people put into the water to kind of combat that algae from forming, and also to kill bodily bacteria and things like that. And without it, our pools would all be green. Now, I'm no doctor, but I know that a lot of people have complained about itchy, rashy skin after they get out of the pool. And some people attribute that to chlorine, and if you have a chlorine allergy or eczema, that could definitely be a triggering factor. But another thing, it could be just being in the water for a long period of time. If the itchy, rashy feeling you're getting is the same as being in a bathtub, then it's probably caused by water and not by chlorine. And there may be trace amounts of chlorine in bath water or tap water, but generally, people can be irritated from just water alone. So keep that in mind. If you do get rashed or irritated, see, is it in all water or is it just in pools? Because when you're in water for a long period of time, it kind of deals with the different cells in the skin and can alter them in different ways. For me, every single time I take a shower for more than 10 or 15 minutes, I like get these like red bumps, and they're not red, they're more like pink, and it's only if I scratch or if I itch myself, but the same thing happens in the pool. And that tells me that it's not just the chlorine, but it's probably something in the water, or something that has to do with being in the water a lot, or something that's in my tap water, in my shower water, that's also in the pool water. So you may want to talk to your doctor, or you may want to figure that out. But for those of you who think you have a chlorine sensitivity, you may want to do a little bit of digging, because the chlorine might not be exactly what's aggravating your skin. Now, the interesting thing here is that chlorine kills bacteria in the pool, and acne on our face is caused by bacteria. Now, obviously, the chlorine in the pool is not being formulated to kill the acne bacteria on our face, but is it possible that by swimming in the pool and being in that water that it could be helping our skin? Some people say yes, some people say no. As many times as I went to the library, I was unable to find like actual studies and research to show that. So I don't exactly know for sure, but logically it's kind of the thought of, does the chlorine that kills the bacteria, does that also kill the acne? Now, that being said, do not fill up a bathtub and dump chlorine in there, because it will be way too concentrated and not be good for your skin. I am not saying that chlorine is going to help acne, but I'm saying that it's probably not hurting it, because if it kills bacteria, it's probably doing the same thing on your face. If you do that in the bathtub though, it's very, very toxic. Like I said, chlorine is a gas that was meant to kill people. So I would not recommend messing around with it at all. Unless you are swimming in a pool, do not play or mess with chlorine, because it could be very, very dangerous. But I have personally noticed that when I swim more in the summer, I do feel like my acne is better. But is that attributed to chlorine? One thought is that the chlorine is killing the bacteria bacteria, but the other thought is you're in the water and you're in the sun pretty much. Now, if you're indoors, that's different. Indoor pools or a shaded pool, that's different. But generally, people who are in the water are in the sun. Now, could it be the UV rays killing that bacteria? Also, water in general is good for acne. Water kind of helps, especially when we're swimming, water kind of helps the skin exfoliate naturally. And it's the idea that just being in any kind of water will help with acne. So could that be the case and not the chlorine? Also, being in the ocean is great. You guys have seen so many products with like dead sea salt or, sea salts from the Dead Sea or Jordan, clay, stuff like that from, different countries. Unless you're in those countries, then awesome for you. I'm super jealous because I love floating in the Dead Sea. I wish I could like walk out my backyard and do that. But lots of skincare lines sell that because the salt is actually very good for the skin. Now, when you eat it, it's not as good. Salt can cause bloating and stuff like that. But when you use salt on your skin, it's kind of like an antibacterial agent, like even going in the ocean. And I talked to a dermatologist about this, and they said that the iodine and the salt in the water can actually be shown to help inflammation, which helps acne. Acne is very inflamed. The more we take that inflammation down, the less red, the less irritated, and the less prone to spreading that acne will be. So that kind of being said and kind of being put out there on the table, we have to ask, does chlorine cause acne or does chlorine help acne? Personally, I do not believe that chlorine causes acne. I do not think that it's going to be an issue for acne. If you have eczema or if you have very sensitive skin, maybe it'll irritate your skin. But honestly, I think chlorine is going to do more harm than help. Now, does chlorine actually help acne? Does it kill that bacteria? Does it make the skin less red? Like I said, for me, when I'm swimming in a pool, I have noticed results. Now, is that because of the chlorine, or is that because of the water, or is that because of the sunlight? I don't really know. But does chlorine actually help acne? Like I just said, I do not know the answer for sure, but should you be avoiding the pool this summer? Definitely not. If you have acne, I think being in the pool will be fine. I think you should go for it. Of course, be safe at the pool. But if you have more questions, maybe talk to your doctor. Maybe your dermatologists know things that the dermatologists that I don't know. But I would love to really figure out more about this. So if you guys have any information, please share with me. But I did just kind of want to get that out there to you guys because I know that a lot of people had questions about it. And there were some years that I just loved the pool and I would swim in it and I wouldn't do anything else, and there were other years where I would totally avoid the pool and sit on the side and be very sad because I wanted to go in, but I was afraid it was going to hurt my acne. So that's just what I think. I think it helps more than hurts. But I love you guys so much. I hope that you are all having a great summer, or the end of summer technically. But I love you guys, and I cannot wait to talk to you all in the very next video. Love you guys. Bye.